Three, two, one. What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Nelson.
I'm Devin.
And damn, we are on episode 6, man. Right, it's
I
getting
know.
better, man. I don't know. It's starting to get really good.
It's getting better and better each week, brother.
Yeah,
It doesn't
definitely.
stop. It's like a train. Just keeps going.
Exactly. And
Excited, man.
yeah, if you guys are new, if it's your first time listening to us, definitely do us a favor and subscribe to our podcast. That way you always notified whenever we do upload a new podcast. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please do us a favor. Rate us. This helps us so much, guys. Really, we really do appreciate it. And so how are you, Devin? What's going on?
I'm good. ready
Awesome.
to rock and roll. As I say, it almost sounds like Pete and repeat, but I really am. I'm ready to get going. Got a lot of fun stuff to talk about in this episode. And
yeah, for sure. I think this one's gonna be good. This one's definitely gonna be good. We're definitely
actually, in your words, great.
Yeah, and great. Yeah, we don't like the word good.
So yeah, we want to be great, so as much as we can.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. So how's everything going over there with you, brother?
Good. Well, thankfully today the weather's really nice, and so woke up, felt really early.
Yeah, it looked like the sun is shining on you, so.
Well, thanks, man.
From what I can see.
I just thought it was the colors that I was wearing,
Yeah, you always talk about being a beacon of light, and you're shining pretty good over there, brother.
Thank you, brother, man. Likewise, man. Thank you.
Yeah, trying.
Yeah. It's crazy. I heard, remember we were talking about on the previous episode about those some of these dating apps. In relationships and how it's changed the human interaction. Of course, you remember that. You were there.
Yep. No, that wasn't me. That was a stunt double.
I heard, and this is new for me, guys. I don't know. I read recently that Facebook is also launching a dating app, and I heard it's been.
What do you know? Another dating app.
I know. What do you feel about that?
Laura, how do you feel about another way for you to meet people?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's another good thing. So, but no, I think, it doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook has the capital, if you will, to invest in something like another dating app. Granted, from what it sounds like, it's a functionality within the app.
Okay.
If I'm hearing that correctly.
I thought it was a separate, sort of like how the Tinders, the Bumbles, all that stuff are the same. Okay, I thought it was something separate. Okay.
No, I think it's going to be within the app. And where is it launching at?
From what I read, it's launching.
I say where, but I guess I know sometimes there are certain things that launch in specific areas.
Yeah. So. I think it's location restricted, but I know for sure it got released in Europe, and also in I think it was in the United States first, and now it's recently got released in Europe. So that should be.
So it's here in the States.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know. I learned that too.
That. It's too many apps.
It really is.
It's like basically like a bunch of books jumbled together. You're like, well, which one do I choose?
Yeah.
Which one do I want to read today?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. My opinion about these apps, I would say I'm pretty neutral. Let's be honest. We're not gonna lie to ourselves. Our curiosity gets the best of us. Let's see what this app does. What does this button do? Oh, okay. But I think honestly, there's no greater way than to meet somebody in real life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know you made the also in the previous episode you made the comment of being able to walk up to someone. Not that you can't, but the days of walking up to someone. I know you gave an example of being in a coffee shop. And in a real life scenario, you said you walked up and basically you were able to hit it off.
Yes.
Before leaving out of the coffee shop, which, as we mentioned before, in this day and age, I'm with you. I'm in the middle when it comes to the dating apps, because I also know there's a flip side of that to where if someone is living even 10 miles, even 5 miles from you,
right,
the likelihood of you meeting that person is very far in between.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I look at it. I look at it from both angles. So, where meeting someone on an app and obviously meeting someone in person. But again, it's funny, but it's not. But it's now you don't know what people look like because they got the mask on. So, I can
Yeah,
only see your eyes.
that's so true. I mean, yeah, that's true. I never, I didn't really think about it like that. And it's I don't know, man. It's just a weird time, dude. Like, it's
It
a,
it's it is beyond. And I just was speaking with my brother about it the other day. I
mhm.
don't foresee going into 2021, at least for now. I just don't see it being any different. And when I say different in terms of the state that we're in now, and obviously I can speak domestically, probably the
Yeah,
same thing in Germany for you.
yeah, of course.
I just don't see that changing. And actually, I just saw on the news the other day the cases here in America,
Hmm.
meaning the COVID cases, are starting to spike again. Um, so I read an article and they were talking about the potential, not the government, just was someone's opinion. They were thinking
Right.
if we would get another government shutdown, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go back to that again. But at the same rate, it's one of those. Yes, you have to take precaution. You have to take safety.
I
But
heard
yeah, go.
the Netherlands got hit again as well.
Oh,
Netherlands is
did they?
also, yeah, the Netherlands is like our neighboring country. They're on lockdown now, man. It's again.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
didn't. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but coming back full circle about the dating, yeah, when you are out and about, if you do want to walk someone, I don't know what I don't even know what you look like behind the mask. Maybe you
Yeah.
could be frowning the whole time, you could be smiling the whole
Well, that
time.
I think we
I don't
talked about
I
this
have no clue.
before, but like that, didn't you mention? See, because over here we can outside we can walk without a mask. Here,
We can
you
walk.
guys can do it
We
as
can.
well now. Okay.
I know there's a I think it's still in play here in Michigan. I know there's like some type of fine that you can get, but I think that's more if you're walking into an establishment and you don't have a mask on. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
but I know that there was a fine put in place because of the seriousness of wearing a mask. They
Of
put that in
course, man.
place.
Oh yeah.
Um, but as far as I know, walking outside, I mean, I personally don't wear a mask, and again,
Mm-hmm.
I see it both ways. I do see people wearing masks while walking and being outside, and I see others that don't. So I'm on the side of not wearing a mask. But so far, keep my fingers crossed. Knock on wood. I'm
Yeah.
okay right now. So
Yeah, we would hurt ourselves if we try to dive into the complexities and the political opinions on how this works. But
no,
anyway, I'm
yeah,
not interested in that, to be honest.
no, no.
Um, because you know what it is? It's a rabbit trail and it's a loop. Really don't know what to believe. So I mean, the best way to look at it is just do your due diligence and be careful. Just in
Absolutely,
case,
brother.
just in case.
Absolutely. I mean, one, just look at the people walking in the store. That'll give you the reminder to put your mask on. 'Cause that still happens to me. I'll
Oh
see people
yes,
walking
yes,
in.
yes.
I'm
Okay,
like,
okay.
oh damn, I need to grab my mask. Because I'll just go in strolling, just smiling, and I'm just like, well, man. Then you see me running back. I'm like, I gotta
Like you
grab my
saw a
mask.
ghost, you're just running back to the car.
Right. It's
You know.
like I'm not stealing anything.
No,
I
what makes me
just need to
laugh,
grab
man,
my
is when
mask.
they like over here they just don't care. They'll put you on blast. You'd be the last person at the door, as I said already. But
Yeah.
jeez, man, I'm just hoping that we can just finally be normal, man. And it really confuses you, with life, and it kind of makes you a little bit miscombobulated, and you really have to ask yourself, okay, according to this current condition that we're in, like what's next for life. Um,
Yep.
and that's the question, like I know probably a lot of people are asking themselves, like what's really happening right now, and what can we expect in the future? It's I don't know. What do you think?
Absolutely, brother. It's a lot of uncertainties right now,
Yeah.
and just it's like being in a long movie.
Yeah.
And I remember there was speaking to someone not too long ago. There was a movie called Outbreak, and it was
Yes,
with
I heard of this.
I think it came out 95, 96, but it was basically a monkey that started spreading a virus. And I'll never forget
Mm,
this scene in the movie. This person sneezed, and
okay.
it shows like basically if you will, the droplets, from that sneeze going in the air in slow motion, and everyone in that movie theater got sick, or at least I don't know if they all got sick, but I remember it just showed like how quickly it spread.
Wow.
And that's what, when this whole COVID thing started, that's what came to my mind. Just that movie. I mean, now a lot of things came to my mind and still do, but
Sure.
that came to my mind immediately. I was like, man, this is like the Outbreak movie, the
Yeah.
monkey. And
It's almost like
yeah,
they're clues or something. I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? If you do the subliminal homework behind it, it's like,
well,
imagine.
I'll tell you what. Me and my brother was talking about this the other day, and how the planet has now, if you will, almost gotten healthier in a sense, because we're not driving as much, and there's not as much smog in the air. For cities that have a lot of smog. So is the planet, saying, hey, slow down, because
Right.
essentially that's what has happened.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. You
So
know,
a lot of things are being cured. I say a
yeah.
lot of things, but certain areas of the planet, where, if you will, pollution and like I
Hmm.
said, smog it hasn't came to a halt, but it has slowed down because of, humans around the world not moving as much as we normally would. So
That's powerful, man. I mean, also look, kudos to Elon Musk and a lot of these innovators and people that are trying to go more battery and um, opposed to having gas in the cars every day. Let's go electric. And so there's a lot of new cars that are coming out now that are electric. I know Amazon just launched a fleet of
yep,
trucks for their company, all electric
yep,
vehicles. That's one thing I heard as well. I was like, whoa, this is getting more and
yep,
more realistic. And
it is.
and I always said it too. I said, look, my next car, right now I drive a fuel-based car as well,
Me too.
yeah, my next car is going to be electric. Mark my words. And I will make an announcement as soon as that comes to life. But I'm manifesting that right now as we speak. I promise.
No,
But I think that's inspiring, man. Just if you look at the situation and you see that, yeah, the world did get a little bit more healthy. And, you know, you have to think about it. The world is alive, right? Not just the people that live on it. It's also alive. Every living thing that breathes the oxygen that's in this world, is alive. The trees, the grass, the water. It's everything that's you could imagine is alive. And so
that just made me think of something. Remember, and
yeah,
forgive me, I never,
yeah,
I
no
never
worries.
did, I never did watch the video. I still need to watch it. But when
Which
you
one is
said
it?
the one about water, so
Oh,
explain. Yes,
quantum leaping.
yeah. Talk about that.
Okay, yeah, sure. It
It
depends
just
where
came to my
everybody's.
mind.
No, no,
It
it's
just came to my
interesting.
mind because as soon as you said water, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, it literally just popped in my head.
I first of all, I think it's absolutely powerful. If you look at the physics behind it, obviously, I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm not a physicist in any form, but I thought, from a logical point of view, that it just really made sense in terms of how it works. So basically, quantum leaping. To make it a long story short, the theory is, and I call it a theory because you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt in terms of what your perception is on this theory is. So you either believe it or you don't. And if you tried it and it worked, then congratulations. um,
Welcome to the other side.
well, welcome to the other side. No, yeah. So basically, all right, let me just get to it. So quantum leaping basically means, the concept is, you take two glasses, take two pieces of paper, and on the first piece of paper, you write down your current state, like if there's something specific that you're struggling with, or something that you want to achieve and you don't have it, for example. So I'll just use an example. Let's say you're struggling with money. That's always a common problem with a lot of people in this day and
Never
age.
going anywhere. Not so much the struggle, but just the need for money to
Correct.
some degree. So.
Correct. So basically, I'm using just this. It's just the easiest way to break it down. Let's say, for example, you have XYZ dollars or euros, because we're in Europe as well, in your account. Let's say you have $100 in your account. So you write that down on a piece of paper. My current state is, I have this much money. I have $100 in my account. Oh, that sucks. Whatever. So on the second piece of paper, you're gonna write the place you would like to be or go to, what state you would like to become. So So basically, the theory is you know put that on a piece of paper, then you attach it to the two cups. One cup has the current reality, and the other cup has your intended reality, where you would like to be. So this concept is called quantum leaping, and they use water as a tool. This is just from my understanding of this, and it's really, really cool. Um, so they say water, they use water as a tool because they say water has the ability to hold on to memory. And when you use water, you tell the water, it infuses your current state. And when you transfer it over to the other glass, to the intended reality you would like to be in, it's sort of like quantum leap somehow. Don't ask me how it works.
That's
I'm not an
crazy.
astrophysicist, but according to my research, this shit works. It's like works, you know?
Crazy, bro.
And people are actually starting, you know, to manifest things. And I never knew that. I always knew that water was alive. I know they did this little, you know, this test with you know, the two beakers of rice, where, you know, you write on the beaker with rice in it, hey, I hate you, F you, blah blah, any bad thing you can think about.
Yeah.
And then on the other one, on the other beaker of rice, you write, I love you, thank you so much, you blessed my life, blah blah blah. And they say they did like a 2-week study. You can find this all over online. It's in all over YouTube, and it's just really easy to research this. They said that what happened was after a couple of days, the beaker that had the rice in it, where it had hateful things and, you know, really negative things, it started making the rice start to rot. Okay.
Wow.
It started rotting, and it started turning all types of weird colors. Like it really started affecting the state of the rice in this beaker. And on the other one, when you said, you know, when you had compassion, when you had love, when you had empathy, and just generally love, this thing stayed healthy the whole time, and nothing happened to that beaker of rice. Now,
Wow.
that should tell you the power of words, power of manifestation. You know, this whole saying of, you know, sticks and stones might hate my bones, but words will never harm me, right? You know, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember the last time somebody told me something that pissed me off, or that was negative and it didn't piss me off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure,
What do
brother.
you,
For
I mean,
sure.
what do you think on that?
No, absolutely true. Words are so powerful.
Oh yeah.
They are very powerful, and whether that be positive or negative, and and again, as we mentioned on the last episode, the words that are in your own head,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that's a whole nother ball game.
You know,
And
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, continue.
No. I was going to say we're still in Mental Health Awareness Month. Not that
True.
that's not what we're trying to go today. But when we are
It's okay.
talking about words, they are absolutely powerful. And just to, as you say, put things in manifestation. If it's going to be negative that you put in manifestation, it's going to happen.
Yes.
Put positive things in manifestation, it's going to happen.
That is the facts, man. It's proven. It's in science, it's proven. In life, it's proven. Like, things are just starting to make sense for life, you know. And I think if we apply some of these principles to our everyday get down, you know, so to say, like our everyday journey, you know, there's so much to learn. There's so many people out there right now that I have absolutely no clue what they want to do with their lives. They have, there's so many people out there that had goals but failed, and they're, you know, figuring out what to do next. And just some people give up, you know, some people commit suicide, unfortunately, because they failed, you know, and this breaks my heart, man. Cause like, there's so many ways to look at it. If that person had access to this knowledge, sort of say, to, you know, how to reset the mind and you know, just shoot for the fucking stars, man. I think it's,
Absolutely, bro.
you know, how many lives would be saved? But a lot of this information, you really just have to research it. And yeah, you know, rightfully so, it's starting to become more common now, because I feel like the world is, you know, starting to become more aware, if that makes sense. And
I think this pandemic has made so many people aware.
yeah, Absolutely.
because this has never been, we've never been through this.
Not
And
in this, not in this magnitude, not worldwide at least. Yeah.
no, not at all. And being by yourself for hours on end, or just this whole pandemic as a whole, it doesn't matter so much even being by yourself for hours on end. Not that
Right.
you have to be, but that's why I even said, in previous episodes, get outside, get around people if you
Mm-hmm.
can, go out walking wherever, social distance. But this is definitely, in terms of having a mental state of mind, has messed with a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
you said, you know, in terms of this pandemic and making sure your mind is clear and trying to keep those, those positive words in your mind if you can.
Yes.
And yeah, as we mentioned before in the previous episode, sometimes that can be a challenge. So
Yeah. Definitely, man. Yeah. So it's something that I find often, man. People just they beat themselves up too hard, or So I always try, and Devin, we talk about this often. We always try to take complicated things and simplify them. You know, that way you can
absolutely.
understand it from many points of view. And if you break down something complicated, imagine what discoveries you can make, not only about that topic, for example, but just about yourself in general.
Yep.
And I think that's some real shit, man. Honestly.
It is.
Um,
It is.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. My mind was going.
Yeah,
When
it's
we
fine.
talk,
Yeah, of course.
I always suck everything in like a sponge, or soak everything in like a sponge.
Yeah.
But yeah, super powerful. Super
Definitely,
powerful.
man. And I guess that's the question everybody asks, right? Like, when they feel lost in life, you know, they they get stranded mentally, and you start doubting your self awareness. You start doubting um, everything, and then next thing you know, uh, you're asking yourself, "Why am I here?" You know what I mean? And
Powerful.
so it's so funny because it's not funny actually. Let me take that back. We just say it as a saying, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
in this case, it actually wasn't cool. Like a really great friend of mine, I'm not going to mention her name, has a humongous effect on me when, in other words, I really value her opinion because she's so aware, dude. And I've known her for over 20 years. A little bit less than 20. I'd say about 15. So, and she's the person I go to sometimes when I'm just off. I'm like, damn, yo. I said, what do I'll ask her, hey, what do you think of this? What's your thoughts on this? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And she's just really she's a really spiritually aware person, and she also practices. She's a shaman as well.
What's a shaman? What's a
So
shaman?
shaman is basically like very spiritually aware. A lot of the natives had this sort of concept of spirituality and spiritual awareness, and things like that. So not that we can say that actually for another
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
episode, but yeah,
I'm already intrigued. Keep going.
yeah. So basically, like she's just really aware, and so uh, she was off. She was off, and I didn't like. I was actually shocked with the things that she was saying, and I was like, "Damn, that's not like you, man." Like, what are you talking about right now? And so not that I did this on purpose, but I just felt the need to kind of step back from her. I just told her, "Hey, I love you. I hope everything's okay for you, my friend. And I wish you a good energy and a good state of mind.
Yeah.
And I hope this passes, for you." But she was just saying things that were just a little bit left. She's like, "No, she said, I'm fine. This is how I'm feeling right now,
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You are not fine. I'm
It's like I
sorry."
said before. Are you really fine?
Yes, exactly. Are you really okay?
Right.
And
Is everything really okay?
and I knew that this wasn't the case, and she just had an abundance of sadness, and yeah. So that's the question always, man. Like, why are we here? And I don't know if I were to ask you that, Devin, what would you say, for example?
Wow. That's so broad, brother. Yeah. Why are we here? There's so many reasons there's so many reasons. We wouldn't even have enough time in this
No.
episode, but for me, as I've growing up, I'll tell you what. So in my mind is going. I'll tell you what. When I was younger, I wanted to be a preacher. You know,
Dude,
when
I
I
had
was
no
going.
idea. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
I'm not joking. That's not a joke. My mom knows it.
That's crazy.
I eventually, from going to church,
Mm-hmm.
because I connect with people's spirits, even at 8, 9, 10, 11, and so on up until now.
Okay.
I've always just had an ability to see past what people are really displaying in front of me. And
Mm.
not only that, really tap into them. For me, I would always make jokes with people about their life and not even know them. And I've had multiple people say, are you serious? Are you living in my house? Are you with me? Like, that's kind of scary. Like, how do you know that? I
Crazy.
just, I just throw it out there because I connect. But for me individually,
Mm-hmm.
and I won't even go there yet. I'll stick on the topic. So you asked, why are we here? I have always felt that everyone has a purpose on this planet. And I
Yeah,
think
facts.
as a human being, you have a purpose. And for many people that I've met throughout my time, just like you, meaning being on this earth for 35 years, people say there's nothing to me. I'm
Oof.
boring. There's nothing.
35.
I know, brother. I could have said 21, but you threw the gold nugget out, in the beginning. So
I know,
I was
I
like, I
caught
can't.
that.
I gotta run with it. So
I caught that.
it's not like I could. Like, I never said my age. Like, yeah, you did. Nelson put it out there for both of us.
Congratulations.
I was like, yeah, he did. But again, yeah, just in terms of why we're here, I feel like everybody has a purpose, and sometimes it takes years if you ever even find that purpose. And
Yeah.
but there is a reason for you being here. There's a reason for myself. There's a reason for yourself. Anyone that I speak with, and I think that's where, since I've been younger, or since I was young, I've always had an ability to uplift people, and it's just
Mm.
natural. It's effortless to make
Mm.
people smile. It's effortless.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't even have to try. I've
Yeah.
had previous managers, for different employers that say, Devin, you walk in a room, you just smile. You don't even say anything, and people are already smiling. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? I'm like, these are just things I don't even pay attention to because it's just natural for me.
Yeah.
Just to come in, anywhere. I don't come in angry, and just to, quote unquote, as we say, be that beacon of light, and bring that positive energy. And again, yes, I'm human. Throughout my life, I've clearly had some up and downs, lot of ups and downs. So it's not like everything has always been smiles, but yeah, in terms of why we're here, brother, everybody has a purpose. And I think that's the word that comes to mind. Now, what that purpose is, there's millions of people on this earth, this planet. I don't know that. I don't know what everybody's purpose is. That would be a big scientific study if I
Yeah.
try to figure out every person's purpose on this planet. But I do know there is a reason for
Mm-hmm.
us being here. So
Definitely. No.
how do you feel about that?
Well, if I was to answer the same question, it would be, for me personally, I've always wanted to entertain people, somehow. I
Same here.
remember I was 3, 4 years old. And my mother I don't remember this, but my mother used to tell me that she says, I'll be in my room by myself. 3 or 4 years old, my little brother wasn't born yet, you know. He was born a year later. And she said during this time, she would find me. She would just watch me, I didn't even realize she was there. And she says I would take toys from the toy chest. And it was a toy chest, so I had the ability at this age to stand on top of it. And she says what I would do is I would take toys, right? You remember those wrestling buddies back in the day? Those big Ninja Turtles back in the
Oh
day?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
every
remember.
toy you could think of, I used to put it in front of me like an audience. And I used to sing for a lot of famous toys. And and she
That's
says I
how it
would,
all began.
yeah, she said one time she heard me singing this song by, because she would always play it, this song by Michael Jackson called Ben. And go
Yeah.
figure, that's my, it's my son's name,
Yep.
So It's who would have knew that how deep that connection would have been. I had no clue. Now I'm thinking about it now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I just knew at that point, she knew at that point I was going to be doing something in entertainment, something in music. And long and behold, bro, I you know, always felt this strong desire to just be in this creative world, because I knew at some point it was going to have the ability to touch people. And then I started defining that reality, pretend, you know, what would become a reality. I started defining those goals and those strengths, and you know, and I started to understand that my purpose on this earth is greater than me. It's bigger than me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew that it was going to be through lyric and melody. And I understand, especially now, understanding the power of music and the power of tonalities and the power of frequencies when you hear certain tones, and converting all that complexity into a song
Yeah.
is how everybody meets into that medium, you know, that you know, middle ground.
Yep.
And I realized quickly just the way people respond every single day, you know, as I was developing this, that it was going to be something great, you know. um, I did eventually end up getting a record deal, work with Puff Daddy. Obviously we know that already.
Yep.
And I got to experience some of the coolest things I can't say a lot of people get the chance to do, you know, that haven't been there or been, you know, at a further level or higher level in this game. And so, but for me, the fame stuff wasn't really important. It's just like, what am I doing to touch somebody's heart and soul, man? Like, what does that mean? And I
Yeah.
realized when I did take a fall, when I lost everything, you know, in that process, and when I didn't have it present, I realized how much it was killing me.
Yep.
Spiritually, it was killing me physically. And I noticed a change in my vibration, my vibe, you know, it was just different, man. And
Yep.
the moment I said, forget this, I'm going to go back in this again. And I'm going to see, maybe I got a round two in me. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm not finished. But going back to what we were talking about today, I wanted to give up.
Oh,
Immediately, I wanted to give up. And, you know, it was a dark time, man. It was a dark time. It shit sucked, man. And, you know, it affected the people that are around me a lot.
mm-hmm.
It affected a lot of people around me because
Mm-hmm.
they saw that light that was burning in me turn off for a second,
Yep.
you know? So,
That's a scare. That can be a scary moment. Um,
yeah,
but I think it's also the awareness of people who do know you,
correct.
because again, you could be walking around at that time, not smiling at people,
Mm-hmm.
and those that don't know you very well would say, "Oh, he's doing fine. He's great."
Yeah,
But those like myself who know you very well and you
yeah,
know me very well, there's an
yeah,
energy.
yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
There's an overall energy that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You don't even have to visually see me.
It's
You can hear
true.
it. You can hear it in my tone. You can, even if I'm like, "Oh no, I'm good, man. Hey brother, what's up? You good?"
Right.
There's something in me at that moment in time where you're like, "Everything
Yeah.
all right?"
Yep,
Or like I
exactly.
said in the previous episode, how just the way the universe works,
Exactly.
you'll reach out to me or I'll reach out to you, or our family will reach out to us.
Right.
It just a random call. Think about those calls you get. You haven't spoken with someone in a month or 2 months or 3 months,
Right.
and just boom, that person calls you or texts you, whatever. And you're like, wow. We all have had those aha moments where it's just like, okay, is this real right now?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? Like out of all the times this person just reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a coincidence.
No, why? Hopefully I can shed light on that. Again, this is just from what I've experienced, and this is only what we're going to talk about. Like, we're all connected in a sense, man. You know, they say like that's why it's so important. You got to be careful what you're attracting, and your mindset, the way you're thinking about things. You know, like if you're constantly in a negative state, guess what you're going to do? You're going to attract people in that same frequency. Absolutely.
Absolutely,
It
bro.
happens all the time. I notice it all the time. People just don't realize it because they're so stuck in this thing called life. And they don't realize, you know, damn, this is like something that I could have avoided a long time ago. How much more further along in my journey I could have been if I just would have, you know, plugged and played certain things, you know? And, but this is, I can't, this is why, you know, sometimes I'm not mad at people. I don't blame it on them personally if they're troubled as they're growing up, because, you know, it's not their fault. Sometimes it's just a lack of knowing something, you know.
It is.
But I don't like when people are stupid either. You know, you don't be stupid on purpose.
Right.
You know, like stupid meaning not stupid like not intelligent, but meaning like you're being ignorant now, you know? Like knowing that you're being ignorant and you're still being ignorant. This is the type of people like I have to be careful with and watch my how I feel.
Watch your emotions.
Yeah, you know, because then it's just like, come on, man. Like, really, that was not necessary. But like overall, like, you know, just people sometimes just get caught up in this crazy thing called life, man. And that's why it's so important for me, Devin. It's so important for me that we talk every week, you know, that we're doing this, that
it is.
Because
me too, brother.
We're you know, as we've already discussed, we're already getting quite a bit of feedback and how, wow, you know, how many people are being already touched by the things that we're talking about, because, you know, we're not sugarcoating. We're just talking about some real stuff here. And we need to hear it.
Yeah, we're talking about things. And again, it's not that this stuff hasn't been talked about, but I think for us to, again, I've already used the word, but to put our truth out there, and just express how we're feeling right now in this moment of time, because this is a moment in history, and you will. This is a moment in history for everyone around the world. This isn't just us. This is a moment in history for everyone. So, if you will, this is our podcast. This is what we're promoting, but in a sense, this is documented. So when we look back, you know, years from now, we can look and say, wow, that's where our mind was at that time.
Correct.
You know, and for me, it's really about the growth and development, and to go back and say, wow, okay, I was here, or, you know, knowing exactly, because we're sharing our truth on this podcast. Wow, I was going through that at that time, and and hopefully, God willing, 2, 3, 5, you know, however many years down the road, I'm in a better place, because again, it is this thing called life. But at the same rate, I will always, as much as I can have, I will always be optimistic about my future, because we're both visionaries.
Right. Exactly.
I don't have anything in my future to where it's like, okay, I'm looking, you know, for something negative to happen. And again, that's that movie playing in your head if you let it.
Right. Exactly.
So, but
yeah, I definitely, I cannot agree enough, brother. This is like
for sure
what it is. So, yeah.
I would say a question that comes to my mind is, obviously we talked about why are we here, in this, and again, it's just coming to me, but how would you like to touch the world? Short and sweet. How would you like to touch the world before you leave this beautiful planet?
Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful question, man. You know, a lot of people would say, you know, I want to be famous. I want to, you know, change the world. The thing is, when I leave this world, I want to know, number one, I want to make sure that, number one, my son is good. He's healthy. His foundation is strong. I gave him a great perception of what life should be like, and so that he can carry it forward. I want to give him as many principles as from me as possible, because, yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect. We're not perfect.
No one is, brother. No one is. But
I know I'm not. I know I'm a really good person, and so I want those traits to be with him. And not that his mother is not amazing; she's also an amazing woman. Just, you know, despite of what happened to our relationship, we're still really good friends to this day. Thank God for that.
It's good, man.
And but yeah, I just want him to be strong. I want him to be balanced. And for me personally, that makes me, I was given the opportunity to lead, to guide someone's life, from the moment they were born to the moment that, they leave the house. I mean, I'm always going to be a guide to my child no matter what, but
Yep.
you reach a certain point where you start making your own goals, start creating your own principles, and then you start breaking the mold, if you will. And because then you start realizing and becoming aware of things that you could have did differently, or probably, that our family probably did that I don't know if I want to do that this time around. I want to do that a
Yeah.
little bit different.
Right.
Right. But yeah, this whole life situation, man, has really affected me in many ways. So when you ask me this question, I want to be able to touch people with the lyric and melody. I want people to become better versions of themselves. If I can sort of create a legacy in doing that specifically, with you, my brother, with my musical journey,
Yep.
and just being a good influence, man. I think I want to be able to remind people, hey, look, man, don't get caught up in this plastic craziness, this plastic
Right.
world,
Yep.
because there's the real world and then there's a plastic world. I mean, yeah. And
Basically the fake.
yeah, exactly. And, you know, if we, if I can, if we can have balance, if I can inspire balance in people, I'm doing my job. I don't have to be the richest guy in the world. I don't have to be the most successful person, have the most beautiful car, most up-to-date car. It's all don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
I'm gonna tell you what came to my mind.
Yeah.
Happiness is the most wealth.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much, because guess what? The millionaires, the billionaires are unhappy.
Oh yeah.
Money doesn't always make you happy. Yes, do we
Happiness is the
need
real wealth. Yeah, oof. That's powerful, man.
it is. Happiness is the true wealth, because you could have all the cars, you could have all the money,
Yes.
but when you all and be just truly unhappy, whether you're by yourself, whether you're in a relationship, whether you hate your job, even if it,
Yeah.
and I say your job, maybe it's your own business, whatever it may be. But when it really boils down and people get to that unhappy state, they're not even thinking about money. They're just like, I just want to be happy.
That's it. Yeah.
I just want to feel positive energy, whatever that looks like, because we get to that point in our life where,
Oh yeah.
you know, we chase dreams, we chase money. There's so many things that we chase, and I'm not saying those things aren't good, because obviously for me and you, there's a lot of things that we're chasing now, but ultimately, and I say chasing in terms of our dreams, but ultimately in the process, when I look at the vision for my life on this planet before I leave, it truly is to continue to be happy, because I don't know what life is going to bring me. I don't know, as I say, sometimes lemons, what lemons life may throw at me, and God knows I've had enough. I say enough. I don't need any more. But I also think that sometimes you need those to derail you, to get you back on track.
Absolutely. That's life lessons for you. That's life lessons for you. That's called becoming a grown up. That's called
Right.
so many things, man. That's called
Right.
it's called so many things, man. But
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
you said something. I don't want
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
just stay on this topic for 2
Yeah,
seconds,
sure. Yeah.
and then we jump into the next thing.
Yeah.
So many people are wanting this, wanting that, but sometimes they're not realizing what they're wanting is poisonous. um,
Sure.
they want to receive, but sometimes, receiving, you gotta be mindful what it is you're asking to receive.
True.
And again, that comes back to becoming aligned with your purpose and what in what you would like to achieve in this world, man. And I think we've highlighted quite a few. I mean, we can go on for 4 or 5 hours, I would say, about this topic. So
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure I already can see it coming. We're gonna have a part 2 to this because there's so many
We have
things we
to.
need to talk about on this topic. But yeah. Anyway, brother, that's just kind of my take on it as well. So
No, no, no. You're absolutely right. I mean, I think that the beauty of perspective, there's not always a right and wrong answer. And that is where, if you allow it to be,
mm-hmm.
perspective can be a very beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
If you allow your own values and everything else, and you allow that wall to come down,
Oh yeah.
you can learn so much from someone else. And I think for me, we're both the same. I don't, and I've said this before, but I really don't. I don't care race, creed, color. I can
Right.
learn something from anyone
Yes.
if I allow myself to.
Yeah.
And that is where, as I've grown into, the age I am now and beyond, I truly just love learning from people and learning about perspective on life. And also, if I am able to help someone because I've been through a lot of things in my life, then so be it. So I would say my reason for being on this planet is sharing my wisdom,
That's it. I love that.
giving back, giving back to, and as much as I'm giving back, also receiving.
That's it.
Because as much as I can share my wisdom, someone else, whether younger or older than me, same age as me, can share theirs with me, and that's only going to help me grow individually.
Definitely.
But definitely have to have a part 2, brother, because not at least today, not enough time to where
Yeah.
we can really
Well,
dive in even.
there's not enough time in the day. I say this
No,
all the
no,
time.
we
It
we
drives
talk
me
about,
crazy.
yeah, we,
24 hour
for,
work. Who created this? No, I'm just playing.
yeah, right. You want 48 hour days?
Yeah. Nah,
It's a
man.
long, imagine you had to do a shift in that. Ooh, meaning a work shift. That'd be a long day. But yeah, that'd be a long day. Like, my
Yeah.
goodness. But what I was gonna say before we wrap this up, brother, and again, this can lead into part 2. So
Sure.
definitely, it's just the questions coming to mind. But how many times do you feel like you wanted to give up?
Oof.
And
Man,
again,
I
I
have
know
10
this might,
fingers.
yeah,
It's beyond that. It's beyond that. You know, I wanted to give up because dude, man, I gave everything I got in my journey. I gave everything I got. You know, everything. Or did I? Really? I tried day in and day out to achieve some goals you know, and I always felt like doors were being shut, and it was it's very discouraging, man, when you really work so long on something and then you see it just fucking crumble right in front of you and
yep,
it's like, does that person have any clue what time you've put into this? And or not, and not anybody in particularly, but just like in general, like, does anybody have any clue what that person had to go through to be at this stage where success is coming to them? And but yeah, man, it was many times, bro. What about you?
oh yeah, no, more than I can count on my fingers, as you said. I There's a lot of times where, as they, the term, we've all heard the terminology, hit rock bottom
Hmm.
or hit a wall. Um, and I don't want to say I've hit, and again, obviously the classification of rock bottom is different for every person.
Hmm.
What is true rock bottom? What is truly hitting a wall? But for me, I have definitely had more times that I can realize that I wanted to give up. But what I will say, and this will definitely bleed into part 2, my children. My children pushed me past the mental boundaries, and I know there's many people around the world, but I can only speak for myself. My children pushed, especially during this pandemic, especially during this time this
Oh
year,
yeah.
because there has been some ups and downs this year,
Oh yeah.
and as it has been for many people,
Mm-hmm.
and just my children, they pushed their father more than I could ever be pushed. When my oldest was born, and I held, I call them my peanut heads. When I held my peanut head in my arms, that did it. That changed my life forever.
I could agree.
And uh, yeah, that has pushed me through a lot of times where I wanted to give up. Obviously, I had more before I had kids, but I think just the when you have that moment where you're like, man, I just want to give up, and you look at that photo of your kids, or you have your kids in your presence, you're like, I got to keep going, because what if you will, for me personally, what legacy am I leaving for my kids? Because they're going to have hard times that come in their lives. It's just part of life. So you see, daddy got through it, and I'm not saying they're going to get through it the exact same way I am,
Yeah.
but because of what I've been through, I will definitely be, as much as I can, that guidance for them, if you will, almost kind of navigating them around cones. But I also believe that you got to make those hard lefts to get back on course, to where you realize, like, I shouldn't. We've all done that. I made that left turn, and I say in life, not literally physically driving, but like, made that left turn. Man, damn, I shouldn't have done that. I know I should have went straight, but something was just telling me to go left, and I did it. And you stayed on that left turn and that road for years, or a year, or a couple months, and you're like, man, I should have never turned down this damn road. And you get back on course. And again, it's about the happiness, because when we get off of these roads of life, whether, and I say roads of life, those that didn't work out for
Mm-hmm.
whatever those may have been, at the end of the day, in that moment of time, we're just like, I just need to get out of here. It's almost like a bailout. I just need to get out. Whether that's your job, whether that's a relationship, whatever it may be. But it typically boils down to, I just want to be happy, and we kind of, it's almost like a circle of life where we just come back to that, and we're like, I don't care about anything else. At this rate, I just kind of want to be happy and work on the next steps of my life.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think there's so many points when that does happen. When something bad does happen, you wish, damn, I wish I could have controlled this scenario much
It's
better.
almost
Like,
uncontrollable, it feels like.
yeah, and just in regards to that, it's, you cannot worry about what you can't control. That's just kind of what it comes down to. All you could do is just be better for next time. But if you're in the middle of a situation in life and there's absolutely nothing you can do to control it, you cannot worry about it anymore. You have to let go.
I couldn't say any better, brother. I
And
couldn't say any
then
better.
I think that's when life starts to happen in many layers. You know.
What I'll say, and I know we'll wrap up here, they're all layers of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sedimentary rock,
Yeah.
right? You ever seen those layers of the
Of
rock,
course.
the erosion and
Of
all that
course.
stuff? That's life, man.
That is.
Those waves come in, they go out. That water comes in, it goes out. That water comes in, goes out. Water comes in. It's all these layers
Yes.
of life. So you have to go through them. So there's
Oh,
no way around it. Even
yep.
having children, I can't protect my children from everything.
I wish I could.
As much as I want to.
Yeah. I struggle
And
with that.
right, as much as I want to, and I'm going to do everything in my power. I tell my kids all the
Yeah.
time, Daddy's got your back.
Yep.
I don't care where you're at in this world. I want you to explore the world. I want you to be great. I want you to do great things. But they also have to have their layers of life that are going to shape them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, every relationship that you have with someone can't be perfect. You won't know what a bad relationship is like.
But as parents, as we want it to be perfect.
We want it to be. But again, it
Any
goes
scratch
back.
we could avoid for them, any bruise, any head
Oh,
bone bust, you know.
absolutely, absolutely. That's when they come back to you like, how did you do this? Like, what made you? Why would you do that? But again, they have to. It's part of their journey.
Yeah.
And we all have had it,
And
and
that's
we're
the
still
whole.
having, and we're still having it.
And we're still. It's never gonna end.
It's never going to end. You know, we're still having this journey. But yes, we'll definitely have to pick up on part two because,
Oh yeah,
you know,
we have to.
we could and we will. We'll definitely pick up, but we could go on for hours, like you said. But
Yeah.
what I will say is, I got a really good, short and sweet quote of the day,
Nice.
which I think is perfect. And actually, you honestly already said it. I feel like
Did I? What is
you
it?
probably did. I think you said it, but it's
Okay.
okay if you did. But this one is actually by Lita Esperanza Garzon. And
Esperanza Corazon. Okay.
there you go. You put the Spanish flair on it, brother, because I don't have the tongue to do it. I don't want to mess it up. Meaning her name, but it just says to receive, let go.
Exactly what we're talking about.
4 words. That's what I said. I feel like you already said it.
It's the truth.
But it's the truth, brother. How do you feel about that?
I just, I can't agree enough. Like, it's good to have goals. It's good to have aspirations. It's good to have milestones, but when it's not going according to that plan, get ready to adapt. Get ready to try a different way to get to that point that you want, When you drive on the road, it's not smooth. It's bumpy sometimes. There's smooth parts of the road and there's bumpy parts of the road. That's I cannot compare that to life enough. And so, yeah, when that happens, you're receiving that. We are receivers. Okay? Our ears, our eyes, or even our vibration, our vibe, the way we feel things, they are our intuitive abilities. These are all receivers.
Yep.
Okay? Like antennas of some sort designed to receive things and information. Once this eye sees something, we're processing it. Boom. It's going through the brain. It's going through the body. It's affecting us,
Yep.
Just like we're listening. That's why it's, when something's just going left, let go, man. Eventually you'll realize, you'll understand eventually why that happened. So
you will. And you just add it to your journey. And again, you look back and hopefully you can say, hey, I got through that, and
yeah,
you won't go through it again, but as they say, sometimes life can, if you allow it to be, can be a revolving door.
Absolutely.
Until you get out of there.
Cannot
allow
agree
yourself
enough.
to receive and let go. So
that's great, man.
Yes, another great episode, brother. But yeah, I'll let you. Yeah, man, it's getting powerful stuff. And just know, guys, like this is not, when we speak, it isn't anything we're trying to make the mood down or anything. And hopefully,
man, it's not even about that.
Yeah, hopefully our listeners don't feel that, but it really is just expressing how me and Nelson feel on a multitude of topics,
right,
and
exactly.
we truly, even though we're rock and roll with this podcast, and we're beyond looking forward to having more listeners. This truly is the way me and him talk offline. Like this isn't anything. Yeah. This isn't anything that we're talking, and we hit record. Like, okay, well, let's just talk like this. This is truly how we talk, and this is where the whole idea of having a podcast came into play. It's like, let's just talk the way we're talking and share our perspective. Yeah, exactly. And help people along the way. So, but I'll let you take us home.
Yeah,
brother.
No, definitely. And again, Devin, really, man, always a pleasure to speak with you across the pond here.
Always.
Eventually we're going to,
just a really big ass pond, but yeah,
it's a big ass pond for sure.
Right.
But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching us. Again, if you're new to this podcast of ours, do not forget to subscribe to us.
Yes,
and
please.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep rocking out content, man. Yeah, we look forward to episode 7. Yeah, we're not gonna tell them what we're talking about yet. We're still debating actually what we want to talk about, but
It'll be good, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It'll be great, because every time I say good, you're like, no, great. Like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I hate that word sometimes. Anyway,
I know.
guys, thank you guys so much, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one.
Yes, we will.
Take care, guys.